Branko, I also want to have you on because you're one of the few people who writes in a critical way about the United States military support for Ukraine, and you're a very unique voice out there. Can you tell us what your basic view is of the situation in Ukraine and also about a recent interview that you did with Anatol Levin?
I mean, my basic view right now is that things are getting really alarmingly dangerous. I mean, if you not just with the nuclear threats, but if you look at the way that the political climates in both Russia and the United States that are kind of intensifying at the moment, where it seems to be for both, there is only calls for escalation, only calls for more, military engagement, more direct engagement between, not in a diplomatic way, but in terms of the military, between the US and Russia. There's only sort of threats and counter threats. There's virtually no... The voices of de-escalation and dialogue on both among the US and Russia are going away, and sort of being drowned out by the voices of war. And that is a very scary thing, because if there's war between the US and Russia, these two countries have enough. I mean, they have the vast majority of the world's nuclear weapons, number one. Russia has the most. Between them, they can destroy the world, I think, several times over. But, they would only have to do it one time for it to matter. And it'll be one thing if we were hearing these kinds of threats, which, like that happens every now and then. Of course, we've seen how threats have been exchanged between North Korea and the United States, certainly under Trump and arguably previous administrations. But now to have these two countries that have enough firepower to, if not wipe out humanity, certainly wipe out a good chunk of it. Making threats, but also having absolutely no alternative to just greater military escalation being floated is, to me, a really worrying thing. And I can only hope that cooler heads are going to prevail. Biden apparently wants to run in 2024. I mean, he's not going to be able to do that if he starts a nuclear war with Russia. But the thing is, when you are caught in a spiral of escalation, as things are right now, intentions don't always matter, because I don't think either Putin or Biden is suicidal, nor do they want to see their countries completely destroyed in a nuclear holocaust. But, sometimes events can pick up a momentum of their own. People miscalculate, as I think, and people get wrong the other adversaries' intentions and their motives and their plans. And I think that's already happened so many times over the course of this war, where, we kept thinking, well, if there's this threat of deterrence and this threat of deterrence and this, Putin's not going to do this thing, and then Putin keeps doing it. More and more, just seeing people saying suddenly, maybe, we can't give in to blackmail nuclear brinkmanship. We sort of have to call his bluff. And that is completely crazy. I mean, to me, I don't think people understand, or maybe they've just been desensitized to it, that they don't really understand the scope of what a nuclear war would actually mean. I mean, it would mean the city that I live in, Chicago, completely gone. Everyone who lives here, all my friends, gone. New York, gone, all gone. I mean, everyone's friends and family, their loved ones, kids, grandkids, dogs, cats, all gone. And by the way, not just in the United States. I mean, number one, the country that would be blasted off the face of the earth first would be Ukraine. This is virtually nowhere in the public discourse about this, and that is, I think, the scariest thing.